There are serious safety concerns with Comcast cable installations in both commercial and residential settings. One incident involved a power shunt that was left on an amplifier, resulting in 55 volts alternating current in the coax center conductor. This electrical hazard caused electronics to burn out. Another incident involved a non-polarized outlet strip with a broken ground connection, which resulted in 75 volts alternating current in the coax shield and rack. Electronics connected to the coax suffered damage. Here are some recommendations for safety. Firstly, inspect Comcast installations thoroughly. Before connecting any electronics, ensure that all components are properly installed and free of electrical hazards. Secondly, use a voltmeter to test for voltage. Measure the voltage between the coax center conductor and ground, and shield and ground. Any voltage reading indicates a potential hazard. Thirdly, connect equipment safely. Use surge protectors and ensure that all outlets are properly grounded. Fourthly, never rotate non-polarized plugs. Doing so can compromise the ground connection and create electrical hazards. Fifthly, ground all equipment. Connect all electronics to grounded outlets or use grounding rods. Sixthly, train technicians properly. Ensure that Comcast technicians are adequately trained to prevent and identify electrical hazards. Ignoring safety precautions can lead to damage to electronics, electrical fires, injury, or death. Always prioritize safety when working with electrical installations and follow recommended guidelines to prevent accidents. To elaborate further, understanding the potential electrical hazards associated with cable installations is crucial for preventing accidents and ensuring safety. The presence of unintended voltage on coax cables, as highlighted in the incidents described, can have severe consequences, including equipment damage, electrical fires, and even personal injury. Therefore, thorough inspection and testing procedures are essential before connecting any electronic devices to the cable system. When inspecting Comcast installations, several key areas should be examined to identify potential electrical hazards. Firstly, verify that all components of the cable system, including amplifiers, splitters, and connectors, are properly installed and in good working condition. Look for any signs of damage, such as frayed cables, loose connections, or corroded terminals, which could indicate a compromised electrical connection. Secondly, check for the presence of any unauthorized modifications or alterations to the cable system, such as improperly installed grounding wires or makeshift connections. These modifications can create electrical imbalances and increase the risk of voltage leakage. Thirdly, ensure that all grounding connections are securely fastened and properly connected to a designated grounding point. A properly grounded cable system is essential for dissipating stray voltage and preventing electrical hazards. Once the physical inspection is complete, it is important to use a voltmeter to test for the presence of unintended voltage on the coax cables. This test should be performed before connecting any electronic devices to the cable system, as the presence of voltage could damage the equipment or pose a safety risk to personnel. To perform the voltage test, set the voltmeter to the alternating current volt setting and connect the probes between the coax center conductor and ground, as well as between the coax shield and ground. A reading of 0 volt should be expected in both cases. However, if any voltage is detected, it indicates a potential electrical hazard that must be addressed before proceeding. The source of the voltage should be identified and corrected by a qualified technician. If voltage is detected on the coax cables, it is important to take immediate action to isolate the problem and prevent any potential damage or injury. Disconnect all electronic devices from the cable system and contact a qualified electrician or cable technician to investigate the cause of the voltage. Do not attempt to troubleshoot the problem yourself unless you have the necessary training and experience. In addition to inspecting and testing the cable system, it is also important to ensure that all electronic equipment connected to the cable system is properly protected against voltage surges and electrical hazards. Surge protectors provide a barrier against voltage spikes and protect sensitive electronic components from damage. When selecting a surge protector, look for one that is specifically designed for use with cable systems and that meets industry safety standards. Ensure that all outlets used to power electronic equipment connected to the cable system are properly grounded. Grounded outlets provide a path for stray voltage to dissipate, reducing the risk of electrical shock. If the outlets are not grounded, consult a qualified electrician to have them replaced with grounded outlets. Non-polarized plugs, which can be inserted into an outlet in either direction, should never be rotated to force them into a non-polarized outlet. Doing so can bypass the grounding connection and create a potentially dangerous electrical hazard. If a non-polarized plug does not fit properly into an outlet, replace the outlet with a polarized outlet that is compatible with the plug. All electronic equipment connected to the cable system should be properly grounded to ensure that stray voltage is safely dissipated. This can be achieved by connecting the equipment to grounded outlets or by using grounding rods. Grounding rods are metal rods that are driven into the ground and connected to the equipment with grounding wires. They provide a direct path for stray voltage to dissipate into the earth. Proper training for cable technicians is essential to ensure that they are equipped to identify and prevent electrical hazards associated with cable installations. Training programs should cover topics such as electrical safety, grounding techniques, voltage testing, and troubleshooting procedures. Technicians should also be trained to recognize the signs of electrical hazards and to take appropriate action to mitigate the risks. Ignoring safety precautions when working with cable installations can have serious consequences, including damage to electronic equipment, electrical fires, personal injury, and even death. It is therefore imperative that all personnel involved in cable installations prioritize safety and follow recommended guidelines to prevent accidents. By implementing these safety measures, the risks associated with Comcast cable installations can be significantly reduced, ensuring a safer environment for both technicians and consumers.